Hey everyone, today on People Now, Tiffany Haddish shares her advice to young black women and why she fears having children.
Why did Prince William break royal protocol and tweet?
Justin Bieber flew to Wyoming to talk to Kanye. Find out how the Biebs encouraged his friend to talk to Kim K.
Just connect to the lyrics and the words because the words and the lyrics are so important to her.
Actress Brittany O'Grady opens up about working closely with singer Sarah Bareilles for her new show.
Plus,
just trying to make a mess.
We are serving up an easy-to-make sweet treat the whole family can get in on.
All that and more today on People Now. Let's go. Hey everyone, welcome to People Now. I'm Andrea Boehlke. Hope you're having a good day so far. Jeremy, I hear that you were a little busy bee making some sprinkles, so it's a good day.
Bee. Me and my girls, busy little bees. We're buzzing around the kitchen. All right, that's it. Yesterday, we made sprinkles. You're going to see it in today's show. They were delicious. Maybe that's because there's so much sugar involved in making it that it's like lick the bowls, lick off all the utensils. It was fun. That's coming up. There's a lot to get to today, though. Here's what you need to know and what's trending for today. We start with this. Tiffany Haddish is opening up about her fears surrounding motherhood. During an appearance on Carmelo Anthony's weekly YouTube series, What's in Your Glass, on Monday, the actress shared how racism makes her not want to have children. Watch.
I'm older now, I'm a little older, and people always like, you're gonna have a baby when you're gonna have some babies, when you're gonna drop some babies, and there's a part of me that would like to do that, and I always make up these excuses like, oh, I need $1 million in the bank before I can touch it, or I need this, I need that. But really it's like, I would hate to give birth to someone that looks like me and then knowing that they're gonna be hunted or killed. You know, like, why would I put someone through that?
Anthony, who shares a 13-year-old son with Lala Anthony, went on to agree with Haddish, adding that it's scary to even think about.
Haddish noted how it's something that white people don't have to think about and that it's time to talk about that. She continued, quote, "We have to come together as a community and work as a unit. We need to just find some common ground and move forward as human beings." Haddish says that we have to figure out how to change people's hearts, and that's what she's trying to do her whole career. I love to hear that from her. She has great perspective, and every time I've talked to her, she really does have that spirit of wanting to bring people together.
And later in their conversation, Anthony asked Haddish to share a message to the younger generation of black women, and her message was this: get informed and don't be afraid to get involved in your community and live your best life. And she added, be your best self, be you.
We all know the royal family is usually very composed, very proper, but even a future king can get fired up when it comes to sports. Prince William, who is the president of the Football Association in the United Kingdom, opened up on that Peter Crouch podcast about one soccer match in particular that even caused him to break protocol, leading him to post an impulsive tweet from the Kensington Palace Twitter account, which he typically doesn't control. Listen to this.
Do you control the Kensington Palace Twitter?
No.
Oh, no, you're not. I always wonder if that's you.
Keep me away from that. When Liverpool did that, who were they playing? Liverpool did that amazing
Barcelona.
Yeah, Barcelona. I went mental. I grabbed hold of the Twitter thing and I just posted it. It was an amazing match. I was literally blown away by it. It was one of the best games of football I've ever seen, and I got completely out of control. I was like, tweet that, get it out.
Give it here.
And nearly every Villa game that we've won, which hasn't been many this season, but nearly every I've been trying to get hold of it, they keep it away from me now. So I had to fight them for it.
The tweet, which was posted in May of 2019, is signed with a W for William and reads, quote, "Well done, Liverpool. An incredible result. What a comeback."
The sports-themed podcast also asked Prince William if his son, Prince George, had any interest in the sport and in his dad's favorite team, Aston Villa. William told them, quote, "I'm trying not to persuade him to be a Villa fan. I'm trying to let him choose his own way. It's about finding what fits for him." Very diplomatic answer. Stick around, guys. In just a couple minutes, we're going to have more Royals news for you that you're not going to want to miss.
After days of avoiding his wife, Kim Kardashian, Kanye West agreed to see her with a little nudging from his pal, Justin Bieber. In this week's issue of People, we are learning more about how Justin visited Kanye in Cody, Wyoming last week. And according to sources, Justin actually told Kanye that he needs to talk to Kim. One source adds that Kanye, quote, "didn't want to face her. He knows he disappointed her and that she's upset, and that makes him upset."
We've been covering the drama between Kim and Kanye for a couple weeks now, and tensions have clearly reached a breaking point. A source tells us that although Kim loves Kanye, she doesn't know what to do, and she feels trapped, adding that she's had enough. That source alleges that Kanye ghosted Kim as she tried to make contact with him for days.
Kanye tweeted a public apology to Kim over the weekend, 1 week after he revealed personal details about their family at his first campaign rally for his 2020 presidential bid, including that the couple considered an abortion after finding out Kim was pregnant with their daughter North in 2012. That was followed by days of alarming tweets from Kanye in which he alleged that Kim and her mother, Kris Jenner, tried to lock him up and that he had been considering divorcing Kim.
We're learning that Kim and Kanye have been toying with the idea of divorce for a while now and have been trying to figure out the best way to co-parent their 4 children, North, Saint, Chicago, and Psalm. Last week, Kim posted a statement to Instagram asking for compassion from fans and the media amid her husband's mental health struggles. Kanye has been open about having bipolar disorder, which Kim also mentioned in that statement. But on a happier note, friends of the Kardashian West say he seemed more relaxed in recent days.
The same source reveals that this is a very sad time for Kim, adding that she thinks of Kanye as the love of her life, but it's not healthy for her to be around him right now. Kim is allegedly prepared to take action, with the source telling us it's time to get some real work done to get everyone healthy and moving forward.
This week, People has decided to give newsstand readers a choice of covers. One features the bombshell new book that details what went on behind the scenes during Harry and Meghan's exit from royal life. But 3 days before we went to press, we got the sad news that beloved TV icon Regis Philbin had passed away. Regis brought us so much joy appearing in our homes daily for many, many years that we wanted to celebrate his life on the cover as well. Both will be available on newsstands Friday, and don't worry, they both have all the same stories inside.
In the issue, Regis's family and friends are mourning his loss while remembering his lasting legacy. In an exclusive statement to People, his wife, Joy Philbin, says he let everyone into his life. He turned every little daily annoyance and happiness into a story, and he shared all of those little stories with people in a joyful and conversational way. She adds, it made his audience feel like they were right alongside him, because they were.
Regis died on July 24th of heart disease. He was 88 years old. His family says they're grateful for the time that they got to spend with him, citing his warmth, legendary sense of humor, and singular ability to make every day into something worth talking about. For even more on Regis's legacy, pick up your copy of People, available Friday.
The second cover story this week focuses on the new tell-all book, Finding Freedom, in which friends open up about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's whirlwind romance and their choice to leave the royals behind. In the issue, one of the authors of the book, Omid Scobie, opens up about why the couple chose to settle in Los Angeles, saying if it wasn't going to be London, where Harry's family is, it would be LA, where Meghan's family is. Scobie adds, but I wouldn't write off the UK for good. They're travelers, they'll move around.
According to a source close to the couple, Harry has long craved a life away from the prying eyes of the media, but it was Meghan who emboldened him to make the change. The source says this, quote, deep down, Harry was always struggling within that world. She's opened the door for him on that. The book also goes into detail about the couple's first few months together, revealing that Meghan got into a bit of hot water for wearing a necklace with the letters H and M on it before the couple confirmed their relationship. She was even scolded by palace aides about it, who feared she was drawing unwanted attention.
Another surprise in the book, the duo were already secretly engaged at their official debut as a couple. I think we all remember when Meghan joined Harry at the 2017 Invictus Games wearing a classic white button-down shirt, dubbed the husband shirt from her designer friend Misha Nunu's collection. Meghan and Harry would go on to announce their engagement 2 months later, but have yet to publicly confirm the actual date that the engagement took place. During the engagement interview, Harry simply said it happened a few weeks ago, noting it was just a standard, typical night for us. This is a big cover story, so we'll have even more on Harry and Meghan in tomorrow's show, so make sure to tune back in for that.
All right, stay with us. We're getting the scoop on the latest dance challenge from TikTok superstar Addison Rae. Plus, the new Apple TV Plus series Little Voice is loosely based on the life of singer-songwriter Sarah Bareilles. We're catching up with the show's star to hear her biggest takeaway from working with Sarah. Stick around for that.
In this week's issue of People, Kerry Washington is opening up about fame, family, and making a difference. And she tells us how she and her husband, former NFL player Nnamdi Asomugha, are parenting amid what she calls, quote, 2 pandemics. One being the COVID-19 lockdown, and the other, the awakening in this country about systemic racism. Their 3 kids range in age from 3 to 14 years old.
And she admits that it's a lot to manage because things are moving fast. Everyone's busy, and the kids are now home all the time. But she reveals that as a parent, she's trying to be more patient with herself and also everybody else in the house. As she puts it, quote, we're all in our process. absolutely relate to that 100%, and I think a lot of people do.
As far as race is concerned, she says she and the kids are learning about Africa at home, and they've even been doing a fun project making pyramids from sugar cubes. It's inspired by what they've learned about Egypt. Kerry says it's important to her to celebrate Black identity and Black lives outside of the context of struggle. She says struggle is important, but so is planting a seed of cultural value and rich humanity.
In the issue, Kerry also reveals that growing up, her mother begged her to become a lawyer. She shares that her mom told her, quote, "Closing arguments are just like monologues." She says her mom was afraid of her being a starving artist. But after graduating from George Washington University in 1998 with a double major in anthropology and sociology, she headed to Hollywood. It looks like things turned out pretty well for her.
But she has not lost her drive to fight for other people. For her latest project, she stepped behind the camera and is serving as a producer for a documentary called The Fight.
It's about the lawyers for the American Civil Liberties Union, or the ACLU, or as Kerry describes them, Avengers in real life. She says there's something really powerful about how those lawyers fighting for civil rights are humanized in the film. If you want to check it out, you can watch The Fight on demand starting this Friday, July 31st.
The Jet Academy is a virtual bi-weekly online basketball camp for children of all ages, and it features some of the biggest stars in the NBA and WNBA. To tell us more about it, we are joined by the founder and host, Kenny the Jet Smith. How's it going, Kenny?
I'm doing great, enjoying myself. I see you're in one of my favorite states of Wisconsin. So I have great friends down there, so in the Cola area. So the Cola family is good friends of mine, so I'm excited to be here.
Let's talk about the Jet Academy. I think this is such a great idea. My extended family has a lot of basketball players. I grew up playing basketball. And right now in quarantine, kids aren't able to play basketball like they normally could. So how did this idea come about? And talk to me about founding the Jet Academy.
Well, exactly. During quarantine, social distancing, I have a live basketball camp that was canceled. I had 700 kids that couldn't go. I had, my own kids couldn't go to any camps. I said, so why should that stop their development? So I just created the first virtual basketball academy, jetacademycamp.com. You go on. We have Kemba Walker, who's an NBA 4-time All-Star, Trae Young, NBA All-Star, Victor Oladipo, 2-time All-Star, WNBA MVP Breanna Stewart, WNBA All-Star Brittany Griner, and we become your personal trainer for an hour and a half every day. I just finished. I'm sweating. I just finished doing it. And it's live. What's the difference is it's live. So we were just talking to Kemba Walker in the bubble, live from the bubble. He's telling us, he's instructing us from the bubble.
This makes me so happy. As a lover of basketball, and when I was younger, I did all the summer camps, and now I feel bad that kids aren't able to do it, but this is such a wonderful thing that you've created. What has the response been like from some of the kids that are doing Jet Academy?
In less than five days, we had over 3,000 kids sign up around the world. And so, because people don't want to lose their development, they want to make their high school team. They want to be better on their high school team. They want to be their best on their AAU team or their travel ball team. They want to make their middle school team. So they understand that you individually, you still have to work on your own game if you can't play 5-on-5.
Yeah, and you have these big names. I mean, talking about Kemba, that's such a great get. I mean, how did you approach people to be a part of it? And, how did you get them to join?
Initially, I was nervous. I was like, man, with guys and these great players and these ladies, would they want to be part of it? And then they were like, well, all our camps are canceled too, Kenny. So they all had done camps that were being canceled. So they understood the camp culture, and they've all come from camp culture. They understand how it's important for them in the summertime. So they just wanted to continue their tradition of what they were doing. And, and then Shaq came in. If anyone puts in the discount code and puts Big Shaq, they get $35 off. So all you have to do, so now it's almost less than $1 a day if you do the year subscription or the 6 months. It's almost less than $1 a day to get better.
Speaking of Shaq, so you co-host Inside the NBA with Charles Barkley and with Shaquille O'Neal. I've interviewed Shaq a few times. I'm obsessed with him. He's the funniest, nicest guy. The last time I talked to him, he asked if he could come here and ride horses. So I definitely want him to make a trip up to Wisconsin. When you co-host the show together, I mean, any fun behind the scenes moments or memories that kind of come to mind with him?
Well, Shaq is the largest human being I've ever seen. And so we have this thing where we race to the board. So I run to the board, and I don't even know how it started, but I'm gonna show a highlight, and he wants to race me to the ring. But he's such a large man. So he tries to cut me off some days, and if I pushed him in the one direction, and he couldn't stop, and he ran into the big Christmas tree. He had a 12-foot Christmas tree, and the Christmas tree falls on him on live television. Oh. So that, to me, is one of the funniest moments with Shaq, is the Christmas tree falling on top of him.
That's amazing. And I'm sure knowing him, he just laughed it off.
Oh, no question. He was like, let's do it again.
You mentioned the NBA bubble down in Florida, which everyone is talking about right now. Who do you think is the favorite to win the NBA this year? What are you thinking?
Wow, I think it's going to be an interesting, because I think the younger teams, I think the great teams like the Lakers, the Clippers, and Bucks, they will still play great. But I think the inexperienced teams will play better. So the gap is shorter because there's no home court. So now they don't have to go to Staples Center on a game 6 with the hostile environment, the anxiety of being on the road and play. They're just walking to the game and there's no home court. They're all on neutral court. So I think the younger teams will play better. Not saying that the veteran teams will play worse. I think the gap is just short.
And there's this debate happening. I'm sure that people have asked you about this before, but you know, because this is all happening under these unprecedented circumstances with coronavirus, I mean, do you think there should be an asterisk next to the winner of this year's NBA title?
No way, no asterisk. You know, if you put the best 350 bakers, right? And you put them in Orlando and say, you're gonna be down there for a month and a half and we're gonna have a baking contest. Whoever wins, you're gonna go, oh, that's a great doggone baker. This is the best teams, the best 350 players in the world. They're there for a month and a half. When they come out, this is the best team. This is the best basketball team and the best player.
I agree. I was having this debate with my friends and everyone was saying there should have an asterisk. And I was like, no, but you're all dealing with the same stuff. I'm talking about the NBA and the basketball family. I can't help but think of Kobe Bryant, who is missed dearly by the basketball community every single day. We all remember him for his Mamba mentality. How do you think he would have been preparing for the NBA to resume if this has happened to him as a player?
Man, I missed him. You know, I didn't know how much a fan I was until he actually passed, because it felt like a family member had passed away and I was tearing up. And I was like, why am I so emotional? And I was like, I know Kobe, but I don't know him as well as Shaq. I didn't play with him. But I realized that over the years, you become fans of people and you don't realize it until they're gone. And so, you know, I think we miss him all, you know, tremendously. His mentality of work ethic has been instilled in a lot of players today. You know, he and LeBron James are the greatest players of this generation.
Last thing, how are your kids doing? I like going on your Instagram and seeing what they're up to. Do they help you with the camps at all?
They came up with the idea, honestly.
Oh.
You know, they were like, you know, my son was doing a call and it was like all of these kids, and I can't remember the thing that they were using. There was multiple kids on and it was all, you know, he was demonstrating to them. He's like, you should do your camp this week. And that's how JetAcademyCamp.com was born.
Incredible. Kenny, thank you so much for chatting with us. And what a great idea. And I'm so glad that you're doing this because it's helping so many kids, especially right now in these tough times and coronavirus and everything. So thank you for all the work you're doing.
You.
Everyone, like you heard him say, check out Jet Academy. It's JetAcademyCamp.com.
Addison Rae is a TikTok superstar with over 3 billion likes and nearly 53 million followers. So she was the perfect person to teach our very own People writer and reporter Jody Guglielmi a TikTok dance in this week's new episode of We Tried It. It's all part of the hashtag #InMyAEJeans challenge. Watch.
All right. So first off, you're going to start with your feet apart and your hands down, holding each other, looking down. And there's 2 beats in the song, so you look up on the second one. And then you start by stepping right with your right hand out, stepping left with your left hand out. Then you'll cross your shoulders, open. Then you'll start to roll, and you'll just do like a body roll with it. Oh. So you'll step right, step left.
I have a lot of body to roll. I don't know.
So pretty much, you don't even have to move your body really. Just move your arms in a circle and then like go up. And then once you get up, you'll jump together and do helicopter hands, which are like kind of confusing. So you'll start with your hands out and a cup like this.
Okay.
And then you'll put one forward and bring one around and back, so like this.
Okay.
Bring them both out, and then you'll just keep twisting them in circles.
This is complicated. This is complicated.
It definitely is. It's for sure a hard thing to do if you don't know how, but it's pretty easy once you get the hang of it. Just kind of like circle your hands.
Okay.
Okay, so you'll step right, step left, cross, open, roll. Then you'll jump together and helicopter hands. And you put your hands on your hips.
Okay.
And roll your shoulders.
More rolls, good.
More rolls, of course, the more the merrier. After you hit hips here, then you body roll with the hands by the mouth.
Okay.
And then the bass drops and you go knee and bring your arms down. So bring your knee up, arms down. You'll put your foot down, hit your right hip up, and you can like look over. And then you can hit your left.
Why doesn't mine look like yours?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so you'll kind of like squat it down and then just turn your knee in.
Okay.
Yeah.
This looks
So right knee, left knee in. Then after that, you'll go cross, open, right, and you'll put your left hand on your hip.
okay.
Right hand makes a figure 8. And you'll hit your chest with your fists and go out and around. Yeah. And then we're almost done. You bring your knee up one more time. And then you pose. Yes. Perfect. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait, you actually totally got it. Should I play the music with it?
Wow, looking good. All right, on July 29th, AE is launching a TikTok challenge with the hashtag #InMyAEJeans, and they're inviting TikTokers from across the country to take part by either remixing that dance that Addison taught Jody, or you can come up with your own dance set to AE's campaign video song, Boa Noite by Trop Killers. The winner with the best TikTok will get the chance to duet with Addison Rae herself, and 3 people will win a gift card to American Eagle. It's an awesome challenge, and we can't wait to see what people come up with. Make sure to hashtag #InMyAEJeans when you post your TikTok videos.
If you play it straight ahead, you can cut against the sentiment.
You think it's sentimental?
In a good way.
What's good about being sentimental?
I think it's got a lot of feeling, and it might be good to play against that.
Huh.
Look, I really like the song.
No, I appreciate it. Really, I always heard it a certain way in my head, and I think, let's just do it that way.
You may know her from Fox's Star, but now Brittany O'Grady is singing and acting her way through Apple TV Plus's Little Voice. It's a series that is loosely based on Sarah Bareilles' life, especially the beginning of her career. Brittany's character Bess tries to fulfill her dreams of being a singer and a songwriter, all while navigating rejection, love, and complicated family issues. The show also features original music by Bareilles. So when I caught up with Brittany, I asked her what it was like singing the songs, the future of the series, and so much more. Watch this. You've said in past interviews you really relate to this character. So I want to know, how is your character the most like you and then the least like you?
That's a good one. I think the one thing I really love about Bess is that she's very driven. She's a hard worker. She's someone that feels determined to do things authentically and to reflect something that's within her and share with the rest of the world. And I think that's something that I really identify with. You know, as an actress, I try to work really hard and do the best work I possibly can. And I believe in hard work. I believe in doing things with great intention as well. And I think the one thing that I would say is opposite. I hope that Bess is a better bartender than I am. I'm not good at making drinks. I went on vacation right before the pandemic hit, and we had to make like a drink for the person sitting next to us, and I did not get a good review. So she's probably a way better bartender than I am.
Something I really like about this show, it's very diverse, both in terms of the characters and casting. Your character, Bess, is biracial. You're biracial in real life. Your character's brother is autistic, played by an autistic actor, which I think is wonderful. What has the impact been like for you to be a part of a project that has this type of representation?
I feel so excited about it. I'm so glad that everybody else is really excited about the diversity that is portrayed, and it just simply exists. I think it's a true reflection of New York City and the world that we live in, and I'm so grateful to have so much diversity and so many storylines being represented, whether it's LGBTQ community, the neurodiverse community. You know, Bess being biracial it's so nice to be, you know, reflected for, you know, who I am. And I think that I think Hollywood is on a track of having more representation, and it's super important.
Absolutely. And the show is loosely based on Sarah Bareilles' life, the beginnings of her career. Did you ever get to speak with her about what moments actually happened to her? I would imagine maybe you'd want to pick her brain all the time.
Yeah, you know, we had a lot of work to do. So when Sarah and I, you know, when I was lucky to spend time with Sarah and, you know, work on the music with her, I got to ask little questions here and there, but it was something that there was a lot of scenarios in the storyline that were based off of something that happened to Sarah, especially in the future episodes coming up. The journey of, you know, being rejected by music labels and having that opportunity to try to pursue her dreams on a bigger scale. I know Sarah experienced a lot of rejection for just being authentic to who she is, whether it was her lyrics, her songs. She felt like her music was too earnest. And that's something that the character talks about in the pilot with the gentleman that she meets in the storage unit. So a lot of that and is in there. And there's a lot of little Easter eggs too, that Sarah has in the show.
There's a couple moments where, you know, Bess gets advice on how to make her music better, as these people want her to make the music better, and she sticks to her guns. You know, she sticks to the way that she envisioned it. Is that something that happened to Sarah? Is that something you guys talked about?
Yes, that is something that happened to Sarah. That was a moment that I think was really profound for her. All the things that, you know, Bess sticking up for herself as a woman in the music industry and being surrounded by men telling her what to do. That was something that Sarah, you know, did say was a really important moment for her, when she was like, you know what, this is musically what I want. I'm going to collaborate, but this is my vision and my art, and this is how I want it.
Is that something that you've encountered in your career where you felt empowered to stick to your vision? Is that something that you relate to?
Yeah, I try my best. I think that as an actor, I try to be as open to notes as possible. I think it helps me improve as an actor. I think that there's a lot of times, definitely behind the scenes, where I stick to my guns in past projects where, you know, things I felt did not align or I felt were, you know, not appropriate. That was something that I definitely, you know, I tried to stick up for myself and for others in work environments that can have difficult situations happen. So
yeah, and having someone like Sarah could be a great role model. I mean, I've always looked up to her. I would love to meet her someday. I probably would fangirl so hard. What's the best piece of advice that she gave you?
When we were singing in the studio, she said, don't worry about the vocal gymnastics, you know, and you know, your voice is enough. Don't worry about the way you sound. Just connect to the lyrics and the words, because the words and the lyrics are so important to her. And I think that creates the emotional meat of a song. And I think that Sarah's legacy and everything that she's created is based on the emotions and the words that she puts into her music. So that was something that was the first time I ever really tried to focus on connecting to the lyrics, opposed to the way that I sounded. I think that was something I worried about on last projects, like making sure I sounded the way that, you know, people wanted me to for the song. And so this was the first time I got to really connect on an emotional level to songs, and Sarah guided me through that.
The showrunner, Jessie Nelson, and Sarah both worked on Waitress on Broadway. So do you know if there's ever been any talk or any dreams to turn Little Voice into a Broadway musical? I feel like that could definitely be a possibility.
Wow, oh my gosh, that is the first time I've ever had someone ask that.
Oh,
and
good.
I bet Sarah and Jesse would nail it if they made it a Broadway musical. That would be really cool.
Is that something that you personally would want to be a part of? Is that something you'd want to do?
I'm happy to work. I'm just like, I would love to if I, you know, the beginning of my career started in theater as a child, and so to dip my toe back in the water in theater, I think that's where my heart is. So we'll see. It's been a while, but I'd be happy to see whoever portrays the character best, whether it's me or someone else. I think the story is just so beautiful.
Also in the show, there's a love triangle, which we always love, between your character, Ethan, and Samuel. So if you had to choose as a viewer, which team are you leaning towards?
Oh my gosh. Well, when we were filming, I definitely kept going back and forth. Both actors, Sean, Colton, they're so charming. They're
so charming.
And we do these scenes and you create this chemistry and you're like, oh shoot. But then you do the other one, oh shoot, the other scene. And then I've been having some friends tell me they really are liking the Samuel and Bess connection. And then I have people in my life who are like, oh my gosh, Ethan is so sweet and so much. And it's, it's that star-crossed lover thing where you just can't connect. And I'm always curious, which direction, what would happen if Bess went, which direction she went, So we'll see. I mean, we have a good, solid answer by the end. So we'll see.
Would there be any dream guest stars that come to mind if there is a season 2?
Oh yeah, I hope we get some really cool musical guests on the show. We had some great artists come last season or season 1. So, moving forward with season 2, it would be really cool to have John Legend on the show because we have his photograph in the bar where Bess works.
So it only makes sense.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. And maybe some great Broadway actors. I mean, Broadway, there's such a, we have such a dedication and love for Broadway on the show, especially through Louis' character and being in New York, and Sarah and Jesse, having Waitress. I would love to see some more Broadway actors come and grace our set. Maybe Patti LuPone will save some.
Oh, that would be good. You can watch Brittany O'Grady in Little Voice, streaming now on Apple TV+. New episodes premiere Fridays.
Sprinkles are the #1 topping for all ice cream, cake, and donut lovers and kids. So my girls and I decided to make some homemade sprinkles following food blogger John Cannell's step-by-step instructions. It got a little messy, but it was a lot of fun, and it's our hack of the moment today. Take a look.
Hey, I'm John Cannell, founder of Preppy Kitchen, and today I'm going to show you how to make homemade sprinkles. They're cheerful, delicious, and a fun project to do with kids. Let's get started. Start off by sifting 1 cup of powdered sugar into a large bowl, and I will say it's important to sift. If you don't, any little clump of powdered sugar will totally clog your piping tip, which is not fun. Sift it out. I have 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. You could add more or less. The vanilla is really optional. You're not gonna taste it too much, but let me tell you, these are gonna be the best sprinkles you ever had taste-wise. Our binding agent for all of this to hold together, use 1 tablespoon of light corn syrup. So for this recipe, I have 2 tablespoons of water set aside, but I'm just gonna use some of it right now. So add in 1.5-ish tablespoons of that too, and reserve the rest for later. Now it's time to mix up. Get out that electric hand mixer, or even do this in your stand mixer if you feel like it. So once you have kind of like a glue-like consistency, like this, you're ready to add the rest of the sugar. 1 more 1/2 cup of sugar, in you go. Sift that out too, and continue mixing. Okay, this time it's gonna be much thicker, but that's okay. You want it to be basically as thick as possible because these sprinkles have to dry out. You don't wanna wait years and years for them to finally become dry. So you do not wanna add as much water as you might be tempted to. It needs a touch bit more water, so just drizzle in a little bit as needed and continue to mix. So now you can see this is really thick. It's actually just so close to the right consistency. Just add in Another drop of water, and you're gonna mix it up now for a little bit. You don't wanna see any lumps or bumps. Totally smooth is your goal. Okay, our sprinkles are done. They're all ready. What do they need now? They need some coloring. Today I'm making a couple shades of beautiful soft pink using a soft pink food coloring. So add a drop in, it's really powerful, and then start mixing. So use your spatula, mix the color in, and now I can see that I have a nice soft pink. You could also divide the batch as well. So let's take out some of this soft pink, add it to a smaller bowl. Now you can add a little bit more food coloring for a darker shade. Just one more drop will do. Mix that in, and we're ready to pipe. Okay, that's a very vibrant pink. We're ready to pipe. To pipe these sprinkles, I'm gonna use a small round tip. That could be a 3, 4, or 5, or if you don't have piping tips at home, just use a sandwich bag or a regular piping bag and snip the very tip off of it. Transfer the mixture to a piping bag now, and just try not to make a mess. Once your piping bags are full, get a sheet of parchment paper and place it on the counter. If you need to, tape it down. Okay, this is the fun part. All you have to do is pipe straight lines. Do not touch the paper with your piping bag. Let it trail above, and you're squeezing and pulling a line forward. That's how it goes. So squeeze, pull the line forward. It's not touching. You can zigzag back now, or you can stop and start the line. Continue doing this until all of your icing is used up. If you want to, you could also make little dots for confetti sprinkles. The process is the same, just take a little dot and pipe them out. Don't worry about them looking perfect. These are homemade sprinkles from your kitchen. They're not from a factory. Repeat the process for any other colors you've mixed up. These sprinkles need to dry out overnight, so just plan on making this a day ahead and then come back to it the next morning. These sprinkles I made yesterday, and as you can see, they're quite stiff. They're perfect for snapping now, and you can make really big, cool sprinkles that are very long, and I think they look great, or really tiny chopped up ones. So do whatever you like, just chop them up. If you want things really consistent, just go for all the same sizes. If you want a mishmash, do whatever you like. Chop, 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 chop. Okay, these sprinkles are ready for a cake, cupcake, or go right into your mouth. They taste delicious. They're actually the best sprinkles I've ever had. So much better than the store-bought. Thanks so much for watching, and happy baking.
All right, coming up tomorrow, Law & Order SVU star Chris Maloney will be here to tell us all about his new series. It's called Max.
Plus, actresses and sisters Vanessa and Laura Morano are hosting a conversation about sexual exploitation and human trafficking. Really important topic. Can't wait to hear from them on that. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Bye, guys.